Hello, my name is Ashley Abraham. I'm a violin teacher here at the Hands in Motion Music School, and I've been playing violin for 24 years. I first started playing violin when I was 5 years old, and I remember the first time I looked at it and I saw it in the case, I was just so mesmerized that all I had to do was just put the stick, which is the bow right here, on the string and make a sound. I was just so mesmerized. Oh my gosh, I remember when I first played Twinkle Twinkle, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, all I have to do is just like put the bow on the string and it makes a sound. Granted, it wasn't a very good sound, but that took many years of mastering that. But yeah, I'm a recent graduate of the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, where I studied with Professor Kevin Lawrence. Prior to that, I had spent 2 summers at the Meadowmount School of Music in upstate New York, where we have practice hours for 5 hours a day, and we have concerts every day of the week, and we have practice checks. So the RAs go around every hour and make sure that we're practicing, and if we're not practicing more than like 3 times, we get 3 X's and we get kicked out of the school. So it's very disciplined, and I'm very much into making sure that I lay down the foundations correctly with my students so that they can just skyrocket and reach their fullest potential.
How old do you have to be to play the violin?
So you can be any age, but here at the School of Music, we recommend starting at 5 years old.
What's a good violin for a child or an adult?
So there's not really a particular brand like Yamaha or Steinway. The violin is really about the make and the maker. So I would just say a violin that's good would be something that can just project really well and create multiple kinds of different sounds. Something that doesn't have a high bridge, that can create like the string tension to be really high, and that can cause tendonitis, which we don't want. And also make sure that the bow is of good quality wood, like Pernambuco wood from Brazil, and make sure that the wood isn't warped and has good hair, because you don't want it to like fall out so much. You want it to be nice and clean. And also make sure that the bow is paired up really well with the violin, because the bow actually matters when it comes to the violin sound, because some bows can make it sound like super loud and some bows can make it sound more melancholy. There's so many good makers out there. There are Italian, there are Chinese makers. I would just say just go to a shop that has a reputable luthier, and if you're not sure about where to go, you can just call the School of Music and they will happily give you some information about that.
What accessories do I need for the violin?
So for a beginner violin, for the bow, I would say something that would help, it's kind of like a contraption that helps with the bow. Keep the thumb bent and the pinky curved and this index finger in place. And also for a beginner, something else I would recommend are violin tapes, and that just really helps with the finger placement, because everything's muscle memory, so that the student can really learn the right pitch. But overall, I would say whatever level you are, get a shoulder rest if needed. Sometimes the shoulder rest doesn't really work for everybody, so I would say get a violin sponge, which is not a kitchen sponge. It's an actual sponge that's made for people who play violin, and also rosin.